everyone. Welcome back. My name is Michelle and I talk books. Today we are talking summer reading lists. We are starting off with books I believe every child should be exposed to before they enter kindergarten. This is the first one of my series and I'm going to go all the way up to senior year. I loved summer reading lists. I tried really hard. My children read a lot of books in the summer, but not as many as I wanted them to, especially as they got older. But what I loved more than anything was looking up lists. I wanted to know, what should they be exposed to? How many classics, new books? I wanted lists. I wanted it to be easy, and I wanted somebody to tell me what to do. Because I wanted that, I'm going to give that to you. Make it as easy as possible. And this will be in a PDF form. I'm working on it right now so that I can just put that down there below, a link below, and you can just have the PDF printed off, go to Barnes & Noble, whatever. I also will put the Amazon links for every one of these books. I'm working on it hopefully soon. This technology stuff is not ever easy for me. So here we go. We're going to go through these really quick. I picked out 12 books that I believe your kindergartners should be exposed to before they go to kindergarten. But, and this is a big but, don't be upset if you don't get through these 12 books. I picked out a book a week, figuring that most of you guys have 12 weeks in the summer. Some of them you'll get through quicker than the others. Some of them are chapter books. It's just a guide. It's just a guide. If you get all of them done, like, good for you. Don't stress about getting each and every one of these books. So let me just tell you what I used to do, just in case this helps somebody out there. What I did was I take a rainy day every week, kind of look at the week ahead. We don't have pools this summer in the east, in Pennsylvania. We don't have pools. But what I do is on nice days, we'd go out, we'd do something outside. But on a day that I knew it was going to be like a complete washout, well, that's the day I would take them to Barnes & Noble. Now, some of these books I can see are like more expensive than what I used to spend on my kids. I'm just giving them to you. There's other ways you can get them. You can get them on their Kindle. You can get them on their iPad, whatever. There's other ways if you don't want to get the physical book. Sometimes it's a little bit cheaper to get the Kindle version. But I did it once a week. We would go to Barnes & Noble. I kind of made it like a game. Like, I would tell them what book I wanted them to find, and I'd see if they could find it. Some weeks I let them pick their own books. I'm not saying you can't do that. It's just, I want to give you some classics. I love classics. You will know that about me. So I like exposing them to the classics. The classics were good. Okay? They just were. They worked for many, many years. I am going to go through these very quickly. How much they cost on Amazon. I can't wait to hear what you have to say. Please leave below any comments if you have other books that you think I should add to this series. Just to remind you, these are books the summer before going into kindergarten. Here we go. Number 1, Alexander and the Terrible, Horrible, No Good, Very Bad Day. I used to love just saying that title. Judith Viorst. Hopefully I'm saying that right. $7.17. This book is just fun. This is just a fun book. It really is. All my children love this book. I loved reading this book to them. So you will enjoy this book just as much as they do. Number 2, Caps for Sale by Esfer Slobodkina. Hope I say that right. $5.59. This book is really easy to read. Repetition, they will pick up on it very quickly. That's why I chose this book. Number 3, Clifford the Big Red Dog by Norman Bridwell. $4.99 because it's a classic, because who doesn't love Clifford? I love Clifford. And there are many, many, many more of his books, but this one is the original just because kids love dogs and Clifford is adorable. So introduce Clifford to them. Number 4, Curious George by H.A. Rey. $6.49. It's a classic. That's all I have to say. Love it. It's a classic. Number 5, Danny and the Dinosaur by Sid Hoff. It's a level 1 reading book, $4.99. Kids love this book. Another one they're going to be easily able to read with your help or alone. Doesn't matter. Remember, it's just for fun. We're in summertime. Number 6, Don't Let the Pigeon Drive the Bus by Mo Willems. Love this book. $11.89. I know it's a little pricey for a board book, but It is so much fun, and it's like active participation. They will love it. Number 7, Harold and the Purple Crayon by Crockett Johnson. Another one, classic. It's $10.99. I know, but these books are amazing to have in your library. They're going to read them over and over again when you're not around. They will. Put the bookshelf in their room. They will read them and read them. And that one is such a fun book. Number 8, Miss Bindergarten Gets Ready for Kindergarten by Joseph Slate. $6.19. Had to get that one because they're going to kindergarten. That's why. And they will love reading about it. Number 8, Mr. Popper's Penguins by Richard Atwater. This was a movie in 2011 with Jim Carrey, which is so much fun. It's a chapter book, $7.99. It's really fun. And then they can watch the movie on a rainy day. How much fun is that? Number 9, Nate the Great by Marjorie Weinman Charmet. This is book 1. Introduce them to this series. See what they think. It's a really fun series, and it's 80 pages, $4.97 on Amazon. It's a little long, but again, a chapter book, and you'll have fun reading it with them. Number 10, Puss in Boots by Charles Perrault. This is a classic. This book was written in 1697. Crazy, right? $8.99 just because expose them to these classics. I truly believe that. Number 11, Rapunzel by Paul O. Zelinsky. This is a French tale that he turned into this book. It's a classic. There are so many updates. Of course, we know that. But wouldn't it be awesome to just introduce them to this book and then go watch the movies and the other Rapunzel stuff, the other Rapunzel books and Disney stuff? I think this book is so... I looked at it and it's like to show them these classics. I think it's perfect. Just to see the pictures and have them be different. And then number 12, I had to end with this one. And I did these really fast too. I just saw my time. I'm like, wow, I really went through these. The True Story of the Three Little Pigs by A. Wolfe by John Sciesca. $5.99. This version, your kids are going to love the pictures. I went through this book. And I was like, wow, I did not have this one. I didn't have this version. Usually the Three Little Pigs were stuck in a big fairy tale book. I was like, I want to buy this. Well, it's on my list, grandkids. Don't worry. You should have seen the list I was making for them after going through this. So what I love about this list, and I'm going to wrap this up really quickly because there's really, there's not much to say, but it introduces them to classics, to fun books, to chapter books, to books they're going to be able to read, and introducing them to the repetition before kindergarten. All of these I love, and that's why I picked them. But like I said, don't stress if you don't get through them all. Back then, when I was looking up books, the internet was not what it is today, so it was really hard to find a summer reading list. Barnes & Noble have a summer reading program. If you're really into that and you want them to go to that, that's awesome too. But these books are for like at home to add to their library. What I'm trying to do with you guys slowly. First of all, I didn't repeat books that I had talked about before. I'm trying to get you to build a library for them, especially if you have more than one child. These books are going to be going through over and over again. But I loved building a library. And if that's what you're interested in, then stick with me because you're going to get a good one. I'm going to go through it every year. And like I said, I'm going to work on the PDF. Next video will be kindergartners going to first grade. If you stick with me, by the time they're seniors, you are going to have quite the library. And you know what you do with that? You pass it down. And I didn't even get to do it that much because I'd gotten rid of a lot of them. Moving made me a little sad. But there are some books that I got to pass down. But, if you don't want to keep them, if your kids are like older and you're like, I'm tired of looking at these books, I don't have the room, pass them along to other parents. I know you will enjoy each and every one of these books. Please let me know below. Like I said, if you have any others, if you like this list, if you want to give me suggestions for my next video, I am always up for suggestions. Thank you so much. I'm going to get through these summer reading lists as quickly as possible, as quickly as I can get them out because it's the 12th. It's almost summer. And before we know it, we're going to be getting ready for back to school. I don't know if every list is going to have 12 books though. This one, I did 12 because I saw 12 that I liked. But not every year is going to have 12 books. These books are going to start to get longer and longer and longer, and we shouldn't have them in the house all the time. reading. We want them to do fun things. Even this summer, we can figure out fun things for them to do. Thank you for watching. Please hit like because it makes me happy. Until my next